Although, let me be honest, dude, I've never seen more people try to milk the shit out of a topic like I have seen them try to milk the crap out of this Lego story. Even Moist Critical's talking about it in Asmongold. That's how big this story got. Asmongold and Charlie are both talking about this. Even Lawn Crime talked about this. Legal Eagles made a couple videos about this. This is exactly what Reckless Ben wanted, though, right? He felt like he was mainstream talent, and I always felt like he was mainstream talent, and I'm really glad. I've been following Ben all the way back during his cult stuff, like before he even did the McCamey Manor video. I've been following Reckless Ben for a long time. And I'm glad to see him finally get his roses. It sucks what's happening to him, but we're going to get into all that tonight. So don't be sad. He was on H3 for an interview, was he? Damn, so he got all the way to H3? Yeah. So, never heard of the story. Were you not here last stream, Timey? It's like, it's taken over the internet. And I watched it because I just watched Reckless Ben out of, like, those of us who were fans of Reckless Ben and, like, were OGs fans of him, like, going all the way back to McCamey Manor, the Scientology shit. Although I guess the real OGs would be, like, the people who watched him even when he was just slacklining, right? But, he's progressively grown. I've always really enjoyed the way he edits videos. Not to mention that I think that, he's getting a chance to get the popularity that I felt like he's always deserved. I've been a fan of him. Yeah, isn't it, Kangalop, isn't it funny when you're watching all these like big time streamers talk about a guy that you've known for a long time and you're like, y'all, like, and they're acting like he's some new kid on the block. But like Ben's been around for a while. He's always done videos like this. You watched his Lucifer Valentine. Yeah, the Lucifer Valentine series was pretty good too. I still think his McCamey Manor work is the best, but obviously it didn't get the following that this did. I personally think that when he was doing all that McCamey Manor stuff, that should have gotten the attention that like this stuff is. But I think the reason that this is doing so well is because the company that he's dealing with is just making the worst moves ever. The worst moves. So let's count down a little bit about what's going on since the last time we talked about this. So he released part 2, which we're going to start off watching because we ended on part 1. So this way we'll just pick up with part 2. We're not going to do all the fill-in stuff that he did where he makes like a 10-minute video talking about stuff or just like, kind of responding to questions from fans or whatever. But the CEO of Bricks and Minifigs went on to a podcast and completely made himself look like a fool. Coffeezilla is now talking about this. Everybody's talking about this. Like this is the power of modern day YouTubers. Is that if you could get a story and you can send it and hit it hard and present it right, then you could go toe to toe with a very expensive, like a $400 million company, and I think that that's the important thing that we're learning here about this is like YouTubers coming together. Public opinion is a very important thing. So I've been too busy watching to watch YouTube much. Well, I'm glad you're here. eShift says, if you haven't heard of it, I think you need to get out from under a rock. Yeah. And it's actually gotten to the point where there's people going in. We're going to check out some of this later, but there's people who are literally going into Bricks and Minifig stores and like fist fighting people, which I can't even begin to talk about how dumb that is, but we're going to get into more of that later. We have so much to cover. So I'm not going to sing tonight. My voice is a little raspy. I've never seen a police department. Oh, we're going to get into police. Yeah, the police and everything. This is actually in my wheelhouse, though, since we cover so much body cam stuff on this channel, at least live stream-wise. That's where we're starting off with body cams, police stuff. You know how we do, and it's going to get ugly. It's going to get ugly. So this came out 11 days ago, part 2 of Reckless Ben Sting. That shows you how long. I haven't streamed in 11 days, because I think this came out the day after we had watched part 1. And I remember I had watched part 1 of his Lego thing when it was still like 100,000 subscribers. It's now at 3.3 million views. And any lawyer who talks about this is instantly getting like 1 million views. Instantly getting, because people want to hear, but okay. Another thing too is I can't condone everything Ben has done. One, I get it. It's for the content. But I do think that we are like, this is the maybe the old man in me or whatever. But I do feel like he is kind of being. I mean, he's reckless Ben. He's supposed to be reckless, but I do imagine a world where a lot of people are going to copycat Ben now and go and harass companies that they think are doing something wrong, and it's just going to be lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit. And I think investigative journalists need to have a code of conduct. Ben had that for the most part, but there is some things that happened in these cams that we'll talk about in a little bit that I do feel like Ben maybe not presented to us 100% accurately, but for the most part, I do still think that Ben is 100% like on the side of good, Bricks and Minifigs on the side of evil. So I guess we'll find out, right? Bricks and Minifigs has an entire ball of shit that's rolling downhill over the owners, other franchise owners. They're hurting all these people. Also, by the way, they did cut ties with the owners of that store, Joshua Jackson and I forget what the other guy's name is, because he's like, you'll see, he comes out. I think he shows up in this. So, but with that said, let's get ready for some more Bricks and Minifigs drama as we dive into Reckless Ben's Part 2 video, and then we'll go through some inbox requests that you guys put in there that you guys wanted me to check out. The inbox is definitely going to become more important. I know I've done a pretty terrible job of paying attention to it, but I do think that it's important to incorporate videos that you guys want to see me react to, because after all, like, you guys are the only reason I'm doing this live stream and stuff. Those in the chat right now and those who may come in are the only reason I continue to do this. So
I'm ready to go in, Coach. Just give me a chance. I know there's a lot riding on it, but it's all psychological.
Oh, here she comes.
Just gotta stay in a positive frame of mind.
At Sirach Onigin Little became a lately. Heck yeah. At Sirach Onigin Little celebrates 21 months of membership. Were you too busy bottoming, e.g.? Does you butt hurt? Rolling on the floor laughing emoji.
Oh my god, she got me.
Rolling on the floor laughing emoji.
She got me.
Rolling on the
Before
floor
I even can
emoji.
get to shutting this off
Rolling
too, it'll be done.
Emoji.
So
smiley face emoji. Smiley face emoji.
She could have done way
emoji.
more, so she's
Smiley
actually
face
being
emoji.
like, you
smiley
know,
face emoji. Smiley face
somewhat
emoji.
reasonable with that. I can't even hear myself when all that stuff's going on. Well, it's good to see you too, Sarah. And yes, I was too busy bottoming. Okay, someone's got to do it. You ain't doing it, so you know we got to do our stuff, right? We gotta make our money where we can. You know what I'm saying? Got to make it where we can, how we can, and when we can. I think that's where we're gonna put. I think that's where we're gonna put old EG right now. All right, guys, let's dive into part 2. I got arrested because of Legos by Reckless Ben. 41 minutes long. I'll pause it and talk because, you know, I'm not just going to play Ben's video, but I think this is pretty good. Probably works better when sound is on, if I had to guess, right? So let me fix that. Typically works much better when the sound is on. At least I think so. We could watch it with the sound off, but I don't think it's going to be as enjoyable. Okay.
Don't move.
This is the story of how I got swatted, all because of Legos. The whole thing started with me investigating a Lego company called Bricks and Minifigs. The company sent 2 guys.
Maybe you are, Sarah. If you are, then you know,
worth around $200,000.
Bottom Brothers.
And for some reason, the police are helping them get away with it. The family reached out to me saying that I'm their last hope to get them their life savings back. The video I made exposing them was actually insane. Check it out if you haven't seen it yet.
It was very insane.
But we ended up taking them to court, and we actually won. When I went back to the store to collect my money, they literally shut down the entire store just to avoid paying us.
Dang it!
So I personally gave them an official closing ceremony, and it went extremely viral. And now the entire world has seen how corrupt this Bricks and Minifigs company is.
Is that what I gotta do? Like, go on TikTok and make videos about stuff like this? Because, you know, I want to get one of these videos that gets seen by 3 million people, right? Brandon Best, that's it. Thank you, eShift. And Joshua Jackson still own the Salem, Oregon BAM, so they lied about dropping. Oh, wow. Okay. The plots keep plotting.
We didn't
didn't get the Legos back, but I mean, we shut down an
Yeah,
entire
get you some
business.
eye candy for you,
we
crazy
still
cat
gotta get
lady.
the Legos back. Yeah, I made a promise to this family that I was not gonna stop on my journey until we get them their entire Lego collection back.
What's this bullshit? It's because I'm on the wrong account. How? I could have swore that I switched over to my main account. Now it's starting the whole video over. We'll skip Ben in the undies. Skip there. Here we go. This is where we were. Alright, great. Now we're not getting any sound.
I was not gonna stop on my journey until we get them their entire Lego collection back. Right now, the two owners, Joshua Johnson and Brandon Best, probably think that they're safe by closing out the store. But the reality is, I can literally just sue them all over again, but personally this time. So I started to file my lawsuit. But right after I filed this court case, it got rejected. And the reason was, I failed to demonstrate a good faith effort to resolve the dispute prior to filing. Basically, before this court case can get approved, I have to at least attempt to settle with Josh outside of court first. I tried calling Josh, but I'm blocked.
I'm sorry.
Oh, man. So my only option left is
Do like Ben, E.G. Get yourself in undies on YouTube. I think I could rock them pretty good. I think I'd look pretty good in them undies. I'm wearing a tank top for you guys. Like, you know, I got the arms out. I got the arms out for y'all today. Is that what I gotta do? I gotta sell my body to you guys to get you guys. All right, if this is what I gotta do, y'all don't want to see me in them Speedo. I'll tell you that much. My body is not as tight as Ben. I'm more like Seth Rogen if I was wearing Speedos.
is to travel to his house to have this conversation in person. Basically, if Josh wants to save the day, I got him a trophy that says, Joshua Johnson saved the day. And we'll give him this trophy, but he has to give the Legos back first. So we started driving to Josh's house to have this good faith conversation the court requires us to have. We're in Josh's neighborhood. Oh my gosh. But when we showed up, Josh was already outside talking on the phone to someone.
All right, I just gotta say, like, I fully do not condone like showing up to someone's house, right? You just can't. It's just not a smart idea to ever go to someone's house on the internet. But I guess EG on OnlyFans. Oh my god, you guys! If that's what gets me some clout on this damn thing and make me a couple bucks to make my life a little easier, so I can get a house, then I'll do it. I'll do it. All right. Whitey tighties with a skin. Does it have to have a skid mark though, Sarah? Like, can it not have skid marks, or do I gotta put a skid mark in there to get the true love? But anyway, yeah, I don't agree with Ben like showing up to Josh's house. I do think this is I think the reason why he's so comfortable doing this though is because he did this in the McCamey Manor video, and I think he did something similar, and yeah, he did it in the Valentine's video. He's not afraid of like going to people's homes and stuff. So.
Oh my gosh, okay, Josh is outside on the phone.
It's crazy.
Wait, do I interrupt his phone call or do we just like wait?
Interrupt his phone call?
No, probably not. I thought it would be pretty rude to interrupt his phone call, so we parked around the corner and decided to wait for him to get off this call. I like how we just have this conversation outside.
Right. He doesn't want to get.
I need a skid mark. Oh my god.
Everything's good, honey.
What the heck?
I'm pretty sure Josh is on the phone with corporate Bricks and Minifigs. And the reason I think that is we were actually...
By the way, Ben is no longer allowed to say the name of this company. I'm surprised these videos are even up, which is why I wanted to make sure we watched it today, because if he does lose in court, then he can have all these videos probably removed, which I don't think really is freedom of speech or, like, you know, journalistic rights.
Just there, right before this. Okay, pulling up to Bricks and Minifigs headquarters. The plan was to give them one more chance to do the right thing before suing them again. While we were...
I'm pretty sure, by the way, all the guys that Ben like has in these videos are just random people that he talks to on Instagram that live in certain areas. And then he goes and he flies into where they are, and then he just crashes with a bunch of people that he's met on YouTube. Or that he's met, like, on Instagram. Not the safest route, Ben, but All right, you know, do your thing. Ironically enough for him, though, one of the people in this video lived like a couple blocks away from Josh, which I found to be pretty ironic. I think a little wet spot would too. My God, you guys. My God.
There, one of the corporate employees answered the door and told us he would get the CEO to come talk to us.
That guy has a broken arm.
Well, no, they said they're getting some guy to talk to us. We're just waiting.
I can already tell you right now, no one's coming out to talk to you guys. Like
Really? But they told us that they were.
I know.
Since Josh only lives like 15 minutes away, they must have informed him that we're in the area, because a few minutes later, this happened.
Dude, the police just showed up. What the heck?
There's a crack in this guy's windshield. Also, if you want to know why you got pulled over, Ben, it's because you probably kept driving around Josh's house like again and again and again. And people in these neighborhoods recognize cars. Like if someone kept driving down my street, chances are someone's going to notice.
Why are the police at his house?
Oh, there's another one, dude. 2 cop cars.
3 cop cars?
Oh my gosh. Cop cars.
Why is there 3 cop cars at his house? We didn't even walk up to his house yet. The cops are following us. What the heck? That's so crazy, dude. Obey every.
Yeah, because as he was driving by, Josh was probably like, there they go, right there. That's them. Go get them.
Traffic law.
He's got his lights on.
Oh, shoot.
He's pulling us over.
My name's Officer. This is American Fork Police. The reason I stopped you is the stop sign. We didn't stop that.
Total bullshit. Total
I thought I
bullshit.
stopped.
Yeah, you definitely stopped. You said you ran a stop sign?
Huh?
You said you ran a stop sign?
I didn't see what happened.
Yeah, I was like.
Because
I
we
didn't
definitely
run.
stopped at the
Yeah,
stop
we
sign.
stopped.
Yeah.
I was so sure that we stopped at the stop sign that I actually requested all the police footage of this. And as you can see, we didn't even do a rolling stop. We fully stopped at the stop sign, so.
Yeah, that's about as clean of a stop, so this traffic stop's already illegal.
This is an illegal traffic stop.
So who's Ben? Me? Ben? How's Utah? It's good. Like it?
Okay, it's pretty obvious that the police know why we're here, so I just explained to them the entire situation.
This old man spent his entire life collecting the world's largest Star Wars Lego collection set.
The only problem is it's a crazy story, and the police officer did not believe me.
$200,000. $200,000. It sounds crazy.
Yeah, when the officer went back to his car, this is the message
does sound
that he
crazy.
radioed in.
Hey, can you get the contact for Reckless Ben? He said he didn't have his ID, but he's just straight lying to me about everything else, so.
See, this is the problem, right? This is why everybody's shitting on the American Fork Police Department. Not a good representation of the American Fork either, if I may say so myself. Kind of more like an American spork. But that was a dad joke, by the way. But clearly these cops are just looking for any reason, and all this is illegal detainment. So many lawyers have gone over this and have just said this is terrible shit. Maybe we'll talk more about that in a little bit, but we got to get through this whole video.
Since the cops don't believe my story, they trespassed me from the property.
Everybody today is being trespassed from that property.
Okay.
Yeah, we were forced to go home without having this good faith conversation.
Oh, I know, E-Shift. We're gonna get there. We're gonna cover it all. I've been keeping up with this story like y'all wouldn't believe. Okay, I know. So we're gonna watch the police department's response. We're gonna watch the dash cam stuff from Ben. We're gonna watch Josh's interaction. All of it. We're gonna get to it all tonight.
The court requires us to have.
Yeah, what do we do now, dude? Like, we didn't even, get to talk to him, and we're in trespass. So, dude.
The one thing I didn't understand was how the heck did they know we were coming? I was hiding in the back seat the entire time, and the car's windows were extremely tinted.
These windows are so tinted, you can't see anything.
But as I was outside inspecting our car tent, the same police showed up to our house.
Oh no, we're getting pulled over again?
And it was weird. He wouldn't tell us why he was here.
Like I said, we've already talked about it.
Yeah, well, thanks for being so cool about everything.
Yeah.
They're after us, dude.
Anyways, since Josh clearly doesn't want to have this good faith conversation with me, I took his trophy and destroyed it.
Rightfully so.
Wait, guys, let's throw it off that thing.
Yeah, I know. If I got you guys into the story and you guys have been going down the rabbit hole, I apologize. But you have to admit, like, everybody's covered it. Charlie, Moist Critical's covered it. Asmongold's covered it. It's been on Philip DeFranco. Every single person, even the fucking quartering, has tried to milk milk this thing for a couple bucks.
Just like in the previous video, I tried to give Josh the benefit of the doubt, the easy way. But again, Josh does not want to do the easy way. The only option left is to go the hard way. But before going the hard way, I actually remembered that there's another owner of the store named Brandon Best. Brandon is the guy in the security camera.
Now this guy's a total fucking weirdo.
The first owner out of the store so he could steal all their Legos. I tried calling him, but I am also blocked.
I'm sorry.
The only option left is to show up to his house.
Hello. Hey, how's it going? Hello?
This guy is such a tool. I mean, okay. One, I get it, right? This guy shows up at his house. You know, he wants to get between him and getting in the house. But, like, at the same time, like, he comes out and just stares at him. Like, this has got to be the weirdest flex of all time. Like, say something, Mr. Best. Like, this comes off just really, really creepy. Really, really creepy. Like, come out and say something at least. Like, don't come out and just stare at him. And then they go on and just don't talk for like 20 minutes.
Hey, well, I was wondering if you'd be down to pay us for the lawsuit that we won.
And they just stand there. They just still standing there.
It kind of seems like Brandon doesn't want to have this good faith conversation to resolve this problem outside of court. And I gave him plenty of time to speak.
I guess if you don't want to talk, I'll just talk.
I like that he's sitting there with an Easter basket though. Like, here, I have this for your Legos or for the money.
So you guys told us to take you to court. We went to court and we won. We know you closed down the store to avoid paying us.
Look at the house he has too. He's got a garage, a little mini mansion. This guy's living high on the hog, man. High on the fucking hog.
So we could just sue you guys personally and do the whole thing again. We would obviously win again, but
then the police showed up, and again, for some reason, they are really trying to protect these criminals.
He didn't steal anything. He inherited the store from somebody
No,
else.
he stole $200,000
How do you know this?
Because I've been spending the last 3 months in the case, and I won in court.
He inherited the store. He's being blamed.
Why is this girl cop like going out of her way to try to defend this guy? Like her explanation to Ben is gonna magically make him go, "Oh, okay. Well, I'll leave then. I'll leave." Hey, Tippy. Uh-oh. What did I get? What rumor did you hear about me? I gotta hear this. I heard you got that to your Riz. I've been told I have that Riz, man. I don't know. I haven't rizzed anybody up in a while. I mean, I have a very beautiful girlfriend. I have a beautiful girlfriend, but I could have that Riz, you know? Riz me up. Nobody plays Resident Evil like Tippy does. Nobody. How about that? Is that working? Nobody handles that Beretta like as a Stars member like Tippy does. It's good to see you. It's good to see you. We're just watching the Reckless Ben Part 2 stuff, so it's good to see you popping up in the chat. I hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well.
Blamed for everything that the previous owner did, and he's trying.
Well, that's a lot. So we.
Okay, hold on. I'm still
okay,
talking.
I'm sorry.
He's still trying to clean up the mess from the previous owner.
She's so sure about this too. I'm glad that you're surviving. Just stepped in to bust. Hey, you know what? Always welcome to come and bust my balls, Tippy. Always welcome to come and bust my balls. It's all we're all about peace and love here. You know what I'm saying? Good vibes, good vibes. and shitting on the police, at least tonight, anyway. At least tonight, we're definitely going to be shitting on the police. But I don't understand what it is with this girl that makes her feel so confident in what she's saying to Ben. Like, she clearly isn't up to date on it. Like, all she's doing is telling Ben what Brandon said. Like, how could she feel so confident in saying this to him? Like, she don't know. She don't have any fucking clue. And by the way, Tippy, have you seen this? I'm sure you've seen the Lego story. You're in touch with everything that's going on. It's pretty wild stuff.
And now he's catching blame for it, and he's just trying to clean up the mess from the previous owner.
No, him saying that it's the previous owner, that's a lie, and we already proved this in court.
If you come back and step foot on this property, you're gonna go to jail.
The police gave me a...
I'm glad that she had the I'm glad she had the patience though to do her makeup and stuff. I know they're all Mormons. Oh yeah. Oh, there's so much content too, Tippy. So much content coming from every direction. I can't really it's a lot to follow. It's a lot to follow. Everybody's cashing in on it. We're only going over it because I typically avoid stories where everybody on the internet is talking about it, but this one we already started, so I can't back out now. Don't lie, EG. You hate everyone because we won't bottom. Well, now I know that you're not going to bottom with me, Sarah. I thought there was always a chance that you would bottom with me in the future, but now that the cat's out of the bag, I guess, right?
Formal trespass notice, which I took a picture of it and sent it to the court as proof I tried to have this good faith conversation, but Brandon didn't want to have it with me. And turns out this was good enough. My court case with Brandon Best got accepted.
So what happens then if he goes there and like Brandon comes out and shoots him? Like, I think it's ridiculous that the court's like, you have to try to prove that you had a good faith conversation with the person to get your court case accepted. So he goes to the house, tries to have a good faith conversation. What if Brandon just came out and shot the guy? You know, like, that's terrible. That's a good point, Tippy. Sarah, you didn't say you won't top though. Will you top if I bottom? Let's work out something here. Let's negotiate. Apparently, I'm the biggest bottom, though, on YouTube, according to my chat. I don't even remember where this came from. This started about a year ago, and ever since then, like, I get it relentlessly from the chat telling me I'm always bottoming when I'm not here. Oh, if I don't stream, I'm not streaming because I'm bottoming. Like, clearly. There's nothing else I could possibly be doing with my time. I'm just bottoming.
But my court case with Josh is still going to be rejected until I find a way to have this good faith conversation with him. So I decided to see if I could find Josh online, to see if I could look up any more information about him.
Guys. Yeah,
oh my god.
You know what to say? No.
Look how many people out there have bald heads are in. Now you get big top chat. Thank you, Tippy. I try to be a chat. I got my black beater on tonight, you know, trying to be moist gains instead of moist critical.
Joshua Johnson.
Yeah, Joshua Johnson.
There he is. Got him.
Liabilities and minimize their exposure to loss.
Look at that shit. Look, that picture of him is just such a clear example. Oh wait, you guys can't see it. Hang on. Look at the picture of him real quick. And just tell me this guy doesn't look like he's someone who would have like shiesty dealings in the world. I've already had a partner that I bottom and oh, that's true, Sarah. Well, we'll have to get him involved. Hey, we got 100 messages already. Let's go. But look, I mean, tell me this guy. Okay, you guys want to talk about bottoming energy? It's right here. This guy has got a kink shame, or he's got a shame fetish for sure. For sure. But also, you got to hear what they're saying about what this guy does for a living.
Suits, that's hella ironic. Are you kidding me, dude? That's what he's known for, is reducing people's exposure to lawsuits.
After some more research, we found out that both Josh and Brandon are super hardcore Mormon, which was actually extremely surprising to me, because if Josh and Brandon are truly Mormons, they believe that stealing is wrong, and if they steal, they're gonna go to hell.
Well, at least they're supposed to.
I guess
feel
in
that
Mormonism
way.
they call it the outer darkness. But still, Brandon and Josh probably actually believe that this is gonna be eternity for them. I mean, Josh even swore to
The
me
outer
as Mormon
darkness.
God in the last video that he would give us the Legos.
Glorious TTV. What a great name. What a great name. This is the craziest story. This is the craziest case of theft I've ever seen, with a side of paying for the cops. Dude, as a YouTuber, I don't think that you could fall into a more entertaining story than this. But I also do think that Ben presents it in a way that is engaging too. So while the story is insane, the cops definitely helped make this story as big as it got. But at the end of the day, it's the hard work and editing that Ben did to make it really good. You know what I mean? And apparently Ben edits all his own videos too, which is great. And I love to see that. As a creator who does all my own stuff too, not like I really have money to do any other option, but it's great to see someone get this big on their own hard work and just getting out there and grinding.
I promise you, I swear to God. I promise you.
Just call me Glit.
Maybe I can use this to my advantage.
I got you, Glit.
My problem right now seems to be that Josh is never going to listen to anything I ever tell him.
They haven't found Jerry yet, Tip.
But if someone from
No
his
Jerry
church
yet.
heard this audio, maybe he would listen to them. So after finding exactly what church these guys go to, we went to it and showed one of the Mormons there this audio clip. And the Mormon thought that the best thing to do was to have a talk with Josh to save him from going to this outer darkness.
Okay, good luck. And I guess me and Tyler are staying back because we're already trespassed. So
yeah, we ended up just driving home. But on our way back, this happened.
What? Pulled over again?
I agree, Glit.
For what?
We were saying earlier that, but yo, I'm gonna wash my ass, be good, or be good at it. I hope you get a nice clean butt. But yeah, no, we were saying earlier that Ben, we've been a fan of Ben. I go back, for me at least, all the way back to the McCamey Manor stuff, and it's great to see that he's finally getting his roses.
How's it going?
How's it going? I'm Officer Hawkins, American Fort Police Department. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. Well, what's your name? Are you Ben?
Oh boy, here we go. That's never a good sign.
Down here.
At this point, we realized what's going on. Yesterday, I told Brandon that our plan is to now sue them personally.
we could just sue you guys personally and do the whole thing again. We would obviously win again.
It seems like they're getting so desperate that they're gonna resort back to the same strategy they used in the last video.
You know what's really funny is after you left, I got a call from my boss, and it was like, how do we get them arrested? How do we
Dang.
get them arrested?
Yeah, Josh and Brandon think that if they can somehow get us arrested and thrown in jail, then we won't be able to sue them. I don't know what they told the police we did this time, but they caught us too late. The Mormon kid was already on his way to Josh's house to...
Oh shit, Coffeezilla dropped his video. Maybe we'll have to watch that next. Because apparently that's a big part of this. Maybe we'll skip the police or the Joshua part, and we'll go right over to Coffeezilla and see what he discovered, because he just dropped the video 3 hours ago, and it's supposed to be a big thing that blows this open. Because his thing is, I found the $200,000 missing Lego.
to save him from this outer darkness and bring him back to God.
We'll let you guys decide, though.
You're gonna sit on down here for me, perfect.
Sir.
What brings you here?
I'm just here trying to talk to Brother Johnson.
Okay.
I'm in the Harvard Second Ward. There's been an audio going around with the young men group.
Okay. What's the audio that you wanted to play?
Here's the audio.
I'm not gonna screw you. You have my word. That's not who I am. I promise you. I swear to God.
That's exactly who he ended up being, isn't it? Isn't that exactly who he ended up being, though? The guy that lies through his teeth?
Who's that?
So
I guess
that's, that's him.
No, I know that. I could tell that from the voice, but
I was just gonna ask him, like, is he willing to give up everything like he said? Because he swore on everything. He swore on God. This might be a crazy ask, but could you take a selfie with me?
But anyways, back to us. The police apparently got a call that we had heroin on.
Yeah, it just dropped 3 hours ago. So apparently Coffeezilla has dived deep into this story, and he said that when the information he found is just nuts. So so that's brand new. Some gay dude made a special washer, but hey, you know what? We don't yuck people's yum, you know what I'm saying, Kangalo? If they gotta wash their booty, I mean, nothing feels better than a clean booty, am I right?
On us.
This officer is going to conduct the search of your person because there are illegal substances in the vehicle. Really? So he's going to do that. I'm going to put this away, and then we'll be right. Don't reach in your pockets for me, okay?
Sounds good.
Thank you. The vehicle will be searched, okay? I'm going to have you stick by with my sergeant.
So apparently they had such a hard on
2 hours of searching the car
about him putting his hands in his pockets because they didn't want him to turn it into
He didn't find
like videos and stuff or content.
I explained to the police that we didn't have
A turtleneck
Daniel's crew
by a really weak guy. All day.
At the Daniels Crew super chatted $5. My favorite guy. Good to see you.
My favorite girl. Good to see you too. Good to see you too. We're watching part 2 of the Reckless Ben stuff where we left off last time, and then Coffeezilla just released a video 3 hours ago that says I found the $200,000 missing Legos. So we got a lot to talk about tonight. All right, so we're gonna try to get through this, and then we're gonna jump right into Coffeezilla and find out, because this is all brand new stuff that's gonna be in the Coffeezilla stuff that we haven't talked about. But since then, we've seen body cam audio of Joshua on the other side trying to, beg for Ben to get arrested. So much stuff is going on with this story. Now they silenced him. I wonder if they're going to try to silence Coffeezilla. That'd be a little harder to do because he's like taking down way bigger fish than Bricks and Minifigs.
Of drugs, and the reality of the situation is that Bricks and Minifigs is so desperate at this point that they're willing to do anything to get us arrested so they don't have to pay for the property they stole. And the police was arguing back with just some of the worst comebacks I've ever heard, which is
we're gonna
why I think the
definitely
police actually
Coffeezilla.
redacted this audio in this clip, because if they kept the audio in, then the world would get to see how stupid the American Fork Police Department is. But anyways, even though we were passing every single drug test they gave us, they were still not going to let us go until we told them where the drugs were.
They were desperately looking for anything they could do to try to arrest these guys. It's pathetic. And honestly, a clear violation of your rights. This part, they redacted the audio, but not on a different body cam, so you know what they said still. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that what it turned out being was just them saying, like, well, what can we get them on? Like, just basically looking for something that they could charge them with, which is bullshit.
For example, right? There's a constriction, which is dilated, and then not. So
And now they're trying to accuse this guy of being a drug addict.
Go ahead, look at him.
Oh, look at you?
Yep.
You do see it?
So
it's crazy. I have no idea because I've never done any drugs in my life. I don't do drugs. I don't do alcohol. I've never done any of that in my life. I'm willing to do any drug tests.
Yeah.
Like, I'm very cooperative. I don't understand what you're seeing in my eyes.
I'm gonna have a discussion with this officer.
And then the police department illegally redacted this conversation too. My guess is that they acknowledged that it's very obvious we don't have drugs on us, but they were going to try and pressure us into giving some type of false confession anyways.
I'm not sure if you're lying to me or not, to be honest.
I'm willing to take any drug test you want.
I'm walking a very dangerous line, which should get you hemmed up a lot.
You're walking a very what dangerous line is he walking, officer? The dangerous line of I'm gonna lock you up. You know what drives me crazy is like a bunch of times these cops say this is Utah, we do things differently here, and all that sounds like to me is they're saying we will, plant something on you to get you arrested if we have to. That's what we do here in Utah. Well, this police company is absolutely going to be investigated by internal affairs. There's no way they're not.
Yeah.
You could end up in jail in Utah when you're from Cali.
Okay.
Not worth it, right?
Yeah.
We play differently here.
We play differently here. We will arrest you for nothing here in Utah. That's what we do here. We will arrest you for nothing.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I'm willing to cooperate with you guys and do anything you want me to, because I'm not hiding anything. I can promise you that. I promise.
We weren't giving the police a false confession like they wanted, so eventually I guess they just got tired and let us go.
We'll let you guys go now, but you're walking a thin line. Just be mindful of that. Does that make sense?
Okay.
At this point, I've documented everything I've been through to the court, that I've tried to have this good faith conversation with Josh. He just doesn't want to have it with me. And because of everything,
yeah, these cops are definitely idiots.
My court case finally got approved. And attached to this email are court papers to serve Josh. The only problem is Josh is not going to open this door for anyone. He wouldn't even talk to another Mormon. Instead, he just called the police on him. In order to get Josh to come outside, I'm really gonna have to get creative. So I made this poster that says, I stole a dying...
Dude. Look at this. It's Josh looking evil as shit with hundreds of dollars in his hands. Oh, that's freaking beautiful. That is so funny.
Man's life savings, and printed it out. Now I'm placing this poster in a public space right across the street from Josh's house. Yeah, it turns out this tiny patch of land is actually free for any person of the public to use. And since we have the freedom of speech, I am breaking no laws by doing this. So when Josh walks outside to take down this sign, I have a process server to serve him his court papers. But almost immediately, my sign got blocked.
Oh no, he's blocking our sign.
Here we go.
What are you guys doing here? So we are in a court case with them and we have to serve them legal papers.
So I explained to the cops the entire situation.
What I want to know is like how often, like in how short of amount of time did Ben go back here? Like, because if he did it the way he said and he went to Josh's house, then he had to go file the paperwork and stuff. That doesn't like happen overnight, right? So did he come back weeks later, days later? Was it like a day later? Mormon corruption for sure. Because that would explain a little bit about how, like, right to being annoyed these cops have. Because if he went away for weeks and came back, like, I don't know.
Situation.
I'm not going on his property.
Right, no, that's fine. Yeah. That's fine.
The police realized that we're not breaking any laws, and they've been called here for a false reason, so they decided to leave.
Awesome, thank you. This is going so much better than yesterday.
So now it's time to serve Josh these.
This is going so much better than yesterday. So he must have went that night, or that day, and filed the thing, got the papers, and immediately drove straight back there. Didn't he start this all 2 years ago? Yeah, it seems. Well, he started this after the Lucifer Valentine video, which if you guys haven't seen that, that's a wild one too.
Court papers, and then we got the police called on us again.
Hello. This man stole basically his family's life savings, so we're just here to serve him his court papers.
Again, I explained to this police officer the entire situation.
I wish we could just send him an email or a phone call, you know, but
guys, all right, look, I'm making an executive decision. All right, I cannot wait to watch this Coffeezilla video. I feel like most of you guys have seen this part, right? If you guys have been following the story, you guys know what happens in here. You don't need to see my reaction. But I think if I watch this Coffeezilla thing, you're gonna be getting my genuine reaction live because I haven't seen it yet. So I'm gonna make an executive call because I think the Coffeezilla is probably gonna talk about this stuff in this video, and I really want to see what's going on with Coffeezilla. I just cannot wait. I cannot wait, and I don't want to go too late into the other video and miss doing Coffeezilla. So we're jumping into the Coffeezilla right now, okay? Does that work for everybody? Okay, good. Good. Let's do it. All right. I know y'all want to see it just as bad as I do.
A $200,000 Lego collection went missing.
Let's go.
A lot of you to ask me to find it. And after seeing the cops point guns at YouTubers, people get arrested and sued for $1.3 million, I decided enough was enough. This looks like a case for the internet detective. This time in the $10 million Lego studio. So I talked to every suspect involved. What I found shocked me.
Damn, Coffeezilla is really up in his editing game. The case of the missing Legos.
Okay, before we can find these missing Legos, let's give some background. A massive Star Wars collection was put on consignment at a Lego store called Bricks and Minifigs in Salem, Oregon. Consignment just means the owner, Brian Mansell, gave it to a store to sell, and he was supposed to get a cut when it sold. The entire time, he maintained ownership of the collection, and a social media post estimated it to be worth about $200,000. But then, on November 14th, 2024, everything went wrong. This was the night that Crystal and Ben Gorman, the prior franchise owners of the Salem store, got kicked out by this guy. That is Brandon Best. He and his partner, Josh Johnson, ran a sister store in Eugene, Oregon. And Brandon drove up that night to kick the Gormans out. Brandon and Josh would be taking over the franchise in Salem.
I find it odd that they kicked her out so fast. Like, did they think that she was going to steal or something? Because, like, that guy must have had to have gone there, like, a day later after he bought it. Or bought it, like, so quickly that he went over there to kick them out. Like, I don't know. I find it odd. I find it weird that they were in such a rush to get them out of that store. You know what I mean?
And this is the exact moment the Legos go missing. As that store is getting handed over, the question is Brian's collection in it? Here's what the official Bricks and Minifigs press release reads. Quote, after taking over the store, we discovered a small number of sets valued between $2,000 to $5,000 that could be possibly related to Mr. Mansell's collection. But there's a problem here. There should be over 10 times that
Bricks and
amount
Minifigs
in
sent
the
them,
store,
right?
given their internal records and what we know.
Because they offered them the Bricks and Minifigs store for like dirt cheap. And then they could I forget what the deal was, but they could get I think they got like the store for free, but then they can make money back and like give it to BAM corporate or whatever.
The estimated value of this collection was. So if corporate's saying there was only $2,000 to $5,000 in the store, something happened to these Legos. But what? In order to solve this case, let's think about the suspects. First, who was there that night of the handover? It's only 3 people. Crystal and Ben Gorman, the former franchise owners, and Brandon Best, one of the new owners. These are our 3 biggest suspects, but they aren't the only ones. I want to address a few other suspects at the very start here. First of all, maybe this is just all the result of, plain old thieves.
And I think that's what they thought, Daniel's crew, is that since they inherited the store, everything in the store is theirs, regardless of whatever deals the Gormans made. But unfortunately, like, the contracts were theirs. So I think they just assumed that all the Legos were their own and that they were going to get away with this scot-free. Never in a million years did I think that they thought a YouTuber was going to come sniffing around and blow their whole shit to, hell.
Breaking in. What about that possibility?
Let alone all the biggest
Hi,
YouTubers.
I'm Chris. I was the previous franchise owner who signed the collection agreement with...
I feel like this must be their kid, right? And she's just a huge Coffeezilla fan and wanted to sit here to be a part of the interview, just to be in Coffeezilla's video.
Brian Mansell.
And I'm Benjamin Gorman. I am the silent partner who's really bad at being silent.
We did have a couple of break-ins at the store. None of Brian's collections were in the police report or stolen during those.
Okay, so the Gormans say emphatically it wasn't thieves, but...
What's up, Bad Daddy?
What about the guy who was arrested? I mentioned at the beginning of this video, Reckless Ben. This is the YouTuber who started it all. With a documentary, I tracked down the thief who stole $200,000 of Lego. Maybe it's the perfect crime. Make a video tracking yourself. Now, for our theory, it's worth noting Ben is currently facing a RICO lawsuit by Bricks and Minifigs. He was even targeted with a search warrant for stolen Legos.
Included in the warrant are Legos.
The owner reported overhearing conversations about possible stolen Legos.
And on top of that, Reckless Ben was even accused of stealing the Legos by the current franchise owner.
I stole the Legos?
What do you think of the theory that it was Reckless Ben? He stole the Legos.
It's absurd. We didn't even know Reckless Ben. He had no interaction, no relation to us, no relation.
That would be a hell of a twist, though, if like Ben ended up being the guy who actually stole the Legos. Like that would definitely be a plot twist most people didn't see coming.
At the store. That doesn't hold any water.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. Apologies to the genius cops in Utah who play different.
We play differently here.
But I don't believe that.
So glad he
stole
said
the Lego,
that.
mostly because
that is such a cringe thing to say. We play different here. Like, So you're corrupt, is what you're saying. We're corrupt here, all right? If they were stolen, they would have insurance for sure. Oh, yeah.
He couldn't. He just wasn't there that night, and I don't even think he knew about these Legos. But who does Ben suspect is holding the Legos since he did this whole documentary series?
Oh, the evil villain.
Company, Ammon McNeff. He personally came out to talk to us.
So what's going on?
So you guys are holding some of our Legos?
No, we're not.
You're not?
No.
Is that a lie?
No.
That's a lie. You did take the Legos.
No. So we have our attorneys have visited. Like again. So who's
Brian Mansell.
Okay, and who is that?
He's a guy who had he had like $200,000 worth of Legos.
Yeah, the Mormon Mafia.
Never happened.
My name is Ammon McNeff. I am the CEO of the Bricks.
Oh shit! He gotta sit down with Ammon McNeff, twisted Blackbeard himself. The guy looks like a pirate.
And Minifigs brand.
So my name's Matt McNeff. I'm the COO of Bricks and Minifigs.
The people you just saw are the McNeff brothers. They agreed to speak with me to try to clear their name. I asked them, do they have the Legos?
What I can tell you is that we don't have it. We've never had access to them.
It seems to kind of go missing. Parts of it seem to go missing on November 14th.
His mustache is what tells me he's lying. He looks like an evil villain. He looks like the guy from Sonic. That's the bad guy, right? Didn't Jim Carrey played him, right? And he had the same exact mustache, and he was evil, wasn't he?
Well, and I guess no, not at all. I'm gonna say, like that is not accurate at all, because.
So you think that the collection was in the store at the time or elsewhere?
Elsewhere. When you look at Mansell's own words that he reiterated to a podcast last year, he explicitly stated to another podcaster the sets were moved off-site.
Yes, this just got posted 3 hours ago. This is all brand new stuff, Daniel's crew. This just got posted 3 hours ago. We're learning all new shit. All new shit.
Not be stored on site after hours for security reasons, and after Sunday, the sets will be available for purchase but stored elsewhere.
Now, one thing that's been a big
Snidely
subject
Whiplash
of the Bricks and Minifigs story
Eggman
is,
from Sonic.
Off-site
Dr. Robotnik.
locations.
That's
Can
it,
you
Dr.
address what that
Robotnik.
is that true?
So the off-site location in the letter that that corporate is referring to is the original press release that we released when we were launching the collection. In that press release, because we had previous break-ins, I specifically included the location that after this weekend, those Legos would be stored.
Oh! She said it! Those Legos would be stolen. You guys heard it. You guys heard it right there. She stole the Lego. She admitted it. We got her. We got her, guys.
Off-site to deter any future thefts. They were briefly stored off-site after that launch weekend while I bought safes for the back room, and then they were moved back into the store.
Okay, so for most of the time, the sets were in the store
Freudian
after
slip.
y'all got the safes in.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so Ammon McNeff suspects that a lot of the Legos weren't there that night. And then on the other hand, we just heard from Crystal and Ben Gorman explaining the off-site story, saying that later they no longer used those off-site locations. But what do we really know?
Yeah, Daniel's crew. I think the 400,000 GoFundMe actually got put back up, though, right before we went live.
About the Gormans. They are the former franchise owners after all. I mean, shouldn't we be suspicious of everyone? They're one of our key suspects. They were there the night we lost Brian's collection. They were the creators of the consignment deal after all. And one group in particular is pointing their finger at them very hard. It's the McNeffs, who say they were behind on payments.
We started getting calls from the landlord letting us know that Crystal was behind on the lease payments at the location. We had also gotten a couple of notices from some of our vendor partners that bills had not been paid by the store. And so we felt pretty strongly that there was going to be a risk of her just, attempting to file bankruptcy, doing some of these other types of things which we've had franchisees do in the past, and that's problematic. So that's why we sent him up there to take some video footage. So we needed to just be prepared if we needed to do a hostile takeover. takeover, which, like can happen in franchising where a franchise owner just,
Thank you,
tries
Blue Jay.
to steal inventory and do some different things that way.
Okay, so Bricks and Minifigs' story is that they were worried about the Gormans skipping town, so they sent Brandon Best as a secret shopper on October 24th, 2024. This is weeks before the takeover. Brandon takes a video of the store condition in preparation for this handover, but at this point, Brandon does not announce himself to Crystal Gorman. Later, though, on November 14th, once again, the same concern about the Gorman stealing or theft was expressed by the McNeffs.
Brandon was trying to make sure that they weren't taking things from the store, and so he was kind of trying to make sure that he wasn't putting things, like hiding things in the back, and that and while he was watching that, was trying to make sure Ben wasn't grabbing stuff from the store and moving it or doing anything along those lines, because he just got a weird feeling about the whole transition.
She took
now they're blaming the Gormans.
more than one cartfuls of things out to her car with her coat draped over it.
So yeah, the McNeffs say, look, they don't trust the Gormans. And they explained it, even further. They said, hey, there's some issues in her past.
She apparently has a retail theft and other criminal arrests on her record.
This guy does not give a shit.
I don't know. This has been brought out.
What a bold thing to say.
By several people online now.
Now look.
Oh my God! It got brought up by several people online. Really? Really, Dr. Robotnik? I saw online that she's got retail thefts. I don't know where I saw it, but it definitely got brought up. And you know what they say? If it's on the internet, it's got to be true.
That's a huge accusation to bring up. And so obviously I wanted to talk to the Gormans about it.
They're like, she has a history of some type of burglary, theft.
Oh my God. Wow.
Yeah, that's what they're
saying.
Yeah.
Oh.
If there is nothing true about that and there is no history of her stealing anything or ever being called for any type of retail theft, that really just made him look a million bajillion times worse. A million bajillion times worse.
Well, yes.
Well,
you
explain.
know about this.
Explain.
Yeah, when I was 19 years old.
How long ago is that?
I am 45 now.
Okay, so people do dumb shit when they're 19. I saw online that EG hasn't been streaming because... Oh my God, Blue Jay. Sarah already said that. Sarah already said that about an hour ago. Then why did this dude say never happened when Ben and Brian had put his Lego in the store on consignment? Yeah, I don't know. That's a good point. I don't think that McNeff can keep up with all his lies. I think it's too hard for him to keep up with all his lies. Well, even if she got arrested at 19 for a retail theft, then I guess that wouldn't be defamatory because it did happen. But I will say, kind of fucked up to drop that on her and say that, she's a lifetime thief because she got caught shoplifting when she was 19 years old. People do dumb shit. Listen, you guys know my history, right? It wasn't always squeaky clean. And if people wanted to bring up what I did then and act like that's who I am today, I would pretty much tell them to, stick it where the sun don't shine. Because I'm nothing like that guy anymore. And I'm sure that Crystal feels the same way. She's probably nothing like she was when she was 19.
So this was in 1999. This, something that happened 25 years ago, has no reflection and no bearing on what happened in the last 2 years.
They have another business called Legally Mine.
The night corporate seized the store, it is another deflection. And it infuriates me. You're gonna try to publicly embarrass and shame me for somebody that was manipulated by local police departments when she was pregnant and 19 years old? Fuck you. That's my response to that. I am so sorry. You're gonna have to blur and cut a lot of this, but that pisses me off. I own what I have done. I own the mistakes that I have made. You cannot intimidate and bully me into backing down when I know that legally and morally I am in the right and I have the evidence to back it.
Can we just take a second to appreciate the dogs fighting in the background on the couch? I don't know. I just wanted to point that out because I thought it was cute.
Up.
Wow, this is getting kind of nasty. And
Oh yeah,
personal at
someone
this
you know.
point,
Wasn't
and
you?
I just wanted to give
Couldn't have
people
been you.
kind of their side, but at every turn, I hope you understand, I'm getting contradictory stories, down to if the McNeffs knew about her history in the first place.
Like, they're bringing up something that I told them about.
Wait, you told them?
Told them. They asked me.
They said they had no idea. They said if we knew, we would have never hired her.
Because we would not have hired her had we known this.
I told them I had a record from when I was 18. There was a family issue that, and didn't go into all of the details, but they were like, that's so long ago, we're gonna hire you based on who you are now.
Okay, I'm just gonna leave it there. You guys can make up your own mind. My point is, one side says up, the other says down, and it gets to the point both sides start hinting that they have photographic proof from the night of November 14th.
Okay, I just want to go on record and say I believe her, because this Aaron McNeff guy has gotten caught lying so many times already that it's kind of impossible to take anything that guy says with any bit of credibility.
Proves the other side is lying. And so I'm like, look, at this point, let's stop talking. Show me the Legos.
Where I was told we are 100% have possession of photos that prove that the Gormans are lying. And then you guys are telling me we 100% have possession of photos that prove this side's lying. Who's gonna drop the photos first? I mean, I feel like someone just has to, somebody's right here.
And after a lot of convincing, both sides agreed to show me the photos, corporate and the Gormans. In fact, I scheduled the calls to do this an hour apart from each other. But let's remember their positions for a second. The Gormans say whatever was left unsold of Brian's collection that was in that store spreadsheet was in Salem store the night of November 14th. Then you have corporate side. They say whatever was left that night was maybe $2,000 to $5,000 of Legos. The rest was either stolen by thieves, the Gormans, or held off site. It was not in that store. And on both sides, there's a lot to lose here, right?
Oh boy.
You've got the Gormans, who basically have been insinuated to have been stealing. And for Josh and Brandon too, the new franchise owners, there's a lot on the line. I reached out to Josh and he told me, I think her pictures would only show a few sets and minifigs. I replied, so if I can prove that the Lego sets were in the store, that will prove Brandon was lying. Josh replies, if it shows something different, then yes, I will eat my words. So the stakes have been established.
This is good. This is fucking good, guys. We're about to find out some juicy, juicy, juicy details. Let's go. Freaking Coffeezilla coming to the rescue.
Let's see the evidence, starting with Matt McNeff. First,
I could totally do videos like this, but the reason that Coffeezilla can is, one, he's got clout, and, you know, in order to be able to do this stuff, you have to have contacts and you have to have, like, credibility. There is no way in hell they would ever want to sit down with me and give me these stories because nobody knows who I am. But if you're Coffeezilla, yes, you can absolutely do this. You could absolutely do this. E.g., like, can you tell my son happy 8th birthday? His name is August and just turned 8. Happy birthday, August! I hope you have a great 8th birthday, buddy.
He showed me the video, October 24, 2024, for a baseline of how the store looked.
So this is the Salem Kaiser location, is that correct?
It's the Salem Kaiser location, yes.
So is it fair to say I'm seeing quite a few Legos here? I mean, I'm seeing a store of Legos. You'd agree?
There's a good amount of Lego on hand. This isn't what I would say is a well-stocked Bricks and Minifigs, but it's not terrible. It's I would say a little below average as far as overall stock. So now let's go to November 14th. Can you still see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So November 14th, when Brandon was in there helping.
Wait, this is the day. This is like the big day.
This is the day.
Hold on, I gotta prep myself emotionally for this.
Okay.
This is a big deal. This is a big. This is D-Day. This is
good.
The big moment. This
Gotta
is
cool
Brandon
dad.
takes over the store. This
And
is.
I wanna-
We don't know where the Legos are after this moment.
We don't know where
boy.
the Legos are after this moment. And I want to point out again that we've had this for a while. We haven't this is the first time we've shown this publicly. We've been waiting for our attorneys to give us the approval to say, hey, this is okay now to share in this capacity. So this
Coffeezilla getting all that Gucci, all that good.
We'll go through these pictures. This is what Josh saw, or not Josh, sorry, Brandon saw. He took pictures of everything in the store, all the inventory in the store. This is what the shelves looked like compared to what you just saw a moment ago.
Okay, so I'm seeing a lot less. Just to state the obvious, go back a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm seeing like way less. So yeah, the pictures I was being shown on November 14th, those shelves looked emptier than they did on the day of October 24th. But to be fair to the Gormans, they addressed the empty shelves themselves.
As we get to the very end of this video in particular, right here, you'll see that empty space right here. So this is the retired and certified set section that we have to keep separate from the new in box current sets being sold by Lego. All those empty spaces up there were the sets that we had on display during the day from Brian's collection that every night when the store closed, we pulled off and put back into the safe and then put back out in the morning.
So when they say, see, there's empty space on the shelves, yeah, because we put them in safes at night to keep them safe.
Because we have giant windows.
Yeah, it's an explanation that kind of makes sense given the history of burglary. Now, of course, this is something I had to ask them.
I'm like on the edge of my seat with all this shit. Like, what's going to happen next? I want to see the Gormans videos to prove that Bricks and Minifigs are lying.
McNeff's about.
Is this a case of, did y'all see Star Wars sets in the back? Did y'all not see the Star Wars sets in the back? Did he take, not in the back, but specifically in a safe? Like there were a bunch of Star Wars sets in a safe. Did Brandon see those? Has there been talk of those? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. My understanding is that he took pictures of everything, and all those photos I showed you of the Star Wars were all the photos, or was literally all the Star Wars inventory in the store.
Yeah, the McNeffs say all of the photos should be with Brandon of all the Star Wars items. And to be fair to them, they showed me a lot more pictures and even showed me a spreadsheet of all the Star Wars sets in the store the night Brandon took it over. And it valued to about like $5,000 to $10,000 or so. But then I had to ask.
Oh, sorry, here's another kind of set.
Okay.
Do you think y'all have all of these?
Very likely.
Okay.
Again, I'd be surprised if we didn't.
But then I couldn't help myself. I started to bring up some of Crystal's photos to see if they matched up.
Have you seen this before?
Not that I recall.
So do you see that?
Yep.
So do you see it's in like some kind of like a safe thing? I don't know if you can see the sides there.
Looks like a bookshelf to me, but sure.
Okay, sure, yeah. So I think the important thing is making sure that all of these are in the inventory for Mansell.
Sure. Sure, that's cool.
75041.
Yep. The Vulture Droid.
75169.
169 I'm not seeing, so there may be... Okay, so there's one that is not on our list.
Let's try this. 10240.
Okay, nope, not seeing that one either.
What about 9493?
3. I don't see that one either. So maybe those were locked at the time, and Brandon did not get those pictures.
All right, that's kind of...
Yeah, that's a safe. It was clearly a safe.
A problem because the Gormans had over 200 photos of this store. I definitely knew looking at these photos, there's a lot more Legos in the Gormans photos, by quite a lot that Brandon's photos just didn't show. But corporate didn't really see it that way.
Can you imagine how much this collection's worth now? Now that it's got this, people are going to be chomping at the bit to get their hands on Legos from the collection that was stolen by Bricks and Minifigs. Like, whatever they were worth before, they're probably worth at least 3 times that now.
But still, in the grand scheme of things, we're not talking, again, 10 times the amount of sets here.
I don't know. I haven't shown all the photos yet. I don't know exactly how much.
If there's a calculable figure that we can look at and say, great, this is what was there, I promise you it's not $100,000 worth of Lego. And so where's the rest of it? You got me. I don't know.
Maybe I'm a little too in my head about this U-Haul story. You don't think it could have been some U-Haul thing? There's no way.
Oh, yeah. Have we talked about the U-Haul yet?
We haven't talked about the U-Haul. Not yet, Coffee.
This is another one of those things that was like really disputed between the two parties. Was this U-Haul that supposedly was driven up to the store the night of the takeover?
So when Brandon came to the store that night, he was driving a U-Haul truck.
Now, in typical fashion,
Brandon looks like the type of guy that would do this shit, though. You know what I'm saying? This is exactly how the Mona Lisa became famous. Yeah. Yeah, could you imagine how many people are going to want to try to get their hands on some of these Lego sets that were part of this? You know? Oh, I got this Lego. Yeah, guess what? This was from the collection that got stolen by Bricks and Minifigs. How much did you pay for that? Like $700. What? I got a piece of internet history, right? I don't know, man. That Brandon Best guy, I feel like the way he came out, like, first off, look at the house he lives in, right? He's got the 2-car garage connected to like the little mini mansion. He came outside like a alpha Chad, like that he was gonna rumble with Ben. Something about that guy don't sit right with me. But he did say, I found the $200,000 missing Legos, so I wouldn't be shocked either, Rajira, if they did sell some of that already. Which, if they did, they might only be on the hook to pay back like the consignment fee, which still makes them more money than it would make Brian.
This was immediately disputed.
Brandon showed up to the Salem store in a rental car. When he came to get the keys from Crystal, he was there in a rental car, not in a U-Haul.
It wasn't until after he told me he was taking the keys and locking me out that I really kind of paid attention to the fact that he had a large, not the small, the large U-Haul truck.
So yeah, I just kept hearing about this U-Haul truck. Now, why is it significant, U-Haul or not? Well, one, a U-Haul truck can fit a lot of Legos, but the big reason it mattered to me was because I was actually called by an ex-employee of the Bricks and Minifigs store in Eugene, Oregon. Remember, that's the one that Brandon and Josh owned, and he told me something very interesting.
I'm a former employee, started in 2024, and I was working under the old manager Brian, and he sold the store to Brandon Best and Josh.
What store was this? Bricks and Minifigs where? Okay, now what did you see that made you want to talk to me?
I saw Reckless Ben's YouTube video about the Salem store closing down because when I was talking to my co-workers about the situation about Salem, and we were told through other employees that it was just a bad area to work in. It was like haunted, if you will.
Oh, okay.
But after seeing
So now we got ghosts. We got friggin' ghosts involved. Let's go. Now we gotta get Side-Eye Guy or Beardo in here.
the video of Reckless Ben, he exposed them, and it makes a lot more sense with what we dealt with Brandon and Josh. Like, oh, Crystal stole Lego sets and bolted out of the country.
Who says that?
Brandon Best told us. When he was jumping up all the Lego sets to us that night. And he was like, a bunch of Lego sets, sets that were like saran wrap, they had Star Wars CD, there's just a lot of stuff.
Ah, it's Brandon Best. Oh, I could guarantee it's going to be that freaking weirdo that came outside and just stared at Ben like an idiot.
It was like in a medium-sized U-Haul truck.
Wait, they brought a U-Haul truck.
Yeah, from Salem to Eugene.
And to Eugene, and it had a bunch of Star Wars sets on it?
Yeah, Star Wars sets, like everything. A bunch of new stuff too.
Wait, when and was this when they took over the store from Crystal?
I believe so, yes. Yes, because he said that Crystal stole Legos and left the country.
While he has a U-Haul of Legos?
Yeah.
Interesting. Weird.
And he said, we're just going to hold on to this stuff until corporate tells us where we have to distribute it. And we're like, oh, well, it'd make more sense if we could take it because we're kind of struggling with, the product we put on the shelves.
Oh my gosh. We really got to find out. Was there a U-Haul that night or not? Because everybody's disagreeing about it. This Eugene, Oregon guy says, oh, yeah.
The Utah truck, or the U-Haul truck, I keep getting it confused with the U-Haul truck in Utah, but they're living in Utah. U-Haul from Utah, Star Wars Lego set. It's all coming together now. It's all coming together, guys.
Yeah, a U-Haul showed up with Star Wars sets in it. Brandon was talking about the Salem store. You've got Matt McNeff saying there was no U-Haul there. It was a rental car. You've got Crystal saying, yeah, I thought it was really weird. There was a U-Haul truck there. So I told the McNeffs, you know, I really got to find out what the truth is here.
If you know anything about it, let me know, because that's just something I heard.
I do, and it has nothing to do with the Salem store. Well, at least not the Salem store in the way that it is there. Brandon showed up to the Salem store in a rental car. When he came to get the keys from Crystal, he was there in a rental car.
Sure he was.
So when there was the handoff, there wasn't
Sure
a
he
U-Haul,
was.
it was a rental car.
Correct. He was there in a rental car.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, U-Haul would.
Any of the, like, if you were to look at the foot,
you could look up. Did you have a rental on that? You know the date. You know the times. The only thing I don't trust is that the guy wanted to be anonymous.
footage, the ring cameras, all that stuff, you won't see a U-Haul sitting anywhere in the parking lot.
So after hearing all of this, I realized, look, I just got to find the evidence. So I start sifting through these photos I have, right? I realize I have a parking lot photo. I check it. No U-Haul, just a red truck out there. I check another photo where you could see the window, but the problem is it's night outside, so you can't see. And so I'm looking at everything I can, and there's just nothing, you know? And I have this alternate angle. I'm looking at that, and then...
Oh, check it out. There's a Utah U-Haul truck. Look, you can see the U. There it is, right there. U-Haul. Clear as day. That is a U-Haul truck. Motherfuck.
Wait a minute. Zoom in on that photo. Bring up the brightness of this photo a little bit, and... my gosh. There's a U-Haul in the parking lot right outside of the store the night of November 14th, 2024. This is something that Matt said he had seen footage of, and it couldn't be true.
And again, I believe I have seen footage from that night that shows clearly out into the parking lot, and there's no U-Haul.
Show him
After seeing this, I said, I really have to make a call. And that's when the story changed.
So last night, I talked with Matt McNeff. I brought up this question of the U-Haul. He told me emphatically there was no U-Haul. Y'all came to me this morning. You said, hey, we looked into it. There actually was a U-Haul there that night. Can you clear up what that's about?
So there's actually two different things that are going on here, just to help you understand. And I don't know if you want this particularly not on the record, but we do know of a disgruntled former employee that worked at another location that back on the 24th of October, there was a U-Haul that went to a storage unit in Salem for another previous franchisee, like for a different situation that we had just, gone through some things, and he had a previously, like, hey, I have some inventory that I didn't turn over that I was supposed to. It's at this storage location.
Oh, fucking convenient. Real convenient, Mr. McNeff, twirly mustache. Oh, there was no U-Haul truck. I can be sure of. There was no, I would know. All right, look at my mustache. I would know if there was a U-Haul truck out. Oh, you know what? Now that you found that picture of the U-Haul, it's all starting to come back to me, like Celine Dion in that song. It's all coming back. It's all coming back to me now. There were things I would never do again, but then Anyway, there was a U-Haul truck there. This guy cannot be trusted. Cannot be trusted.
You guys can come pick it up. And so Brandon was sent on that day to pick up with a U-Haul inventory that then he moved down, but that was October 24th.
So when we're talking about this ex-employee, you're saying they are conflating the October 24th event of the U-Haul coming up to Eugene with Legos with some time after November 14th, after the store takeover. Is that correct? Am I understanding that?
He's like, I sure fucking hope so. I sure hope so.
Yes.
So this is now kind of a strange story. Corporate is saying there was a U-Haul at the Eugene store dropping off Lego, but that was from a different night, different collection. The CEO says Brandon showed up to Salem on October 24th for his secret shopper job with Crystal.
True that.
And separately, he also was getting a
Like the little twirls on his mustache are there specifically so the flies can land on to siphon all the poop that comes out of his mouth. I get that, man, daddy.
different collection of Legos that also included Star Wars, and that's what he brought to the Eugene store and the former employee is remembering. Then, weeks later, on November 14th, Brandon supposedly shows up again with a U-Haul, but the reason isn't for hauling Legos.
Brandon flew in to Eugene that night. At midnight. So flew from Utah on the 13th, but landed in Oregon on
today, Junior.
Midnight of the 14th.
Look, he's got the tissues behind him for cranking it, crying, you name it. Oh, the only thing he's missing is like a bottle of lotion, and he'll be set. He'll be set. This is for all the tears that he cries. Double ply. What a damn liar. Damn liar.
Went and got a rental truck, and then went and stayed at a trailer that had previously been moved up there in anticipation, meaning a camper trailer, in anticipation of the potential hostile takeover previously.
Is that why he
hostile
had a U-Haul?
takeover?
Is that the reason he had a U-Haul was for this camper, or what's going on with the?
Yes. So then what happens is he takes his rental vehicle truck, and he tries to connect the trailer, the camping trailer, to that truck, and it's not rated for that particular weight, and he realized, oh crap. He called around and found that U-Haul had a rating for one of their box trucks, and so he grabbed that, went and got it at 10 a.m. on the 14th, and so he then went and hooked that trailer up to the camping trailer to a U-Haul, drove that trailer down to another location where he could set up the camping trailer in Salem, dropped off the camper trailer, and then he arrived in a U-Haul to the Salem store, and then went in, said hi to Crystal, and then as she was leaving, the door shuts, and so he locks it, calls the locksmith. Takes him a while to finish up the changing of the locks. Brandon at this point is pretty exhausted, so and he has an hour drive back to Eugene to drop off the rental truck. So he drops it off at midnight or 1 o'clock, something like that, grabs the rental truck, and then heads back up to the camper trailer in Salem, and then gets in at around 2 or 3 in the morning, spends a couple of that's a little bit of sleep before he has to.
This sounds like the biggest crock of shit. Whoever believes this, raise your hand. I'm not seeing very many hands. This sounds like, you ever catch a kid doing something wrong? Like, what there was 5 cookies here. Now there's only 3. Where did the cookies go? Well, I didn't eat the cookies, but there was this guy who showed up, and he was eating the cookies, and I told him that he wasn't supposed to eat these cookies, and that these cookies were for after dinner. And, well, why do you have cookie crumbs on your shirt? Because he tried to forcibly make me eat a cookie, and I said no, because I wasn't allowed to have cookies before dinner. So I got crumbs on my shirt, fighting off this strange man that showed up and forcing cookies down my throat. Well, then why do you have like chocolate on your face? Again, it was the guy who was shoving those cookies down my throat. It wasn't me. That's all I can say. I'm an innocent person in this. This guy knows way more than he's saying. Way more. There is nothing believable about anything this guy is saying.
Head back to the store at 9 a.m. before the other employees get there. The timeline that is trying to be portrayed just makes absolutely zero sense.
Okay, so I asked, obviously, for documentation of all of this from Brandon, and here's what I got. First, the U-Haul contract on November 14th. This checks out what we already know. Then I got sent a photo, the last one Brandon took in the Salem store, dated 9:44 p.m., where you can see what looks like the inside of a bird cage that the Gormans had. And lastly, I was sent a photo Brandon took of the mileage in the U-Haul as he dropped it back off at the rental place on November 15th, 12:41 a.m. Now, the time gap there is about 3 hours between the last photo in Salem to dropping the U-Haul off, which is a bit of a problem for our timeline.
Yeah, it took like 4 hours. I mean, I worked till like 11 o'clock, and I'm like, I gotta get up early for, my other job.
You moved 4 hours of Legos out of this truck.
Yeah.
All right, so as weird as this U-Haul thing is, the timeline just doesn't fit, to be honest. If it took 4 hours to unload, you can't also drive to another city, load and unload and drop off the U-Haul in that time. But still, even if this is true, it's pretty weird, and it's one of the most bizarre stories I've ever heard, to have a U-Haul thing back to back. One of the times you're picking up Legos, the other time you're not, you're taking a camper. Nevertheless, without more proof, we kind of have to move on to another theory of how to find these missing Lego. This time, let's take the photographs that we have and reconstruct what was in the night on November 14th. Remember, that's the moment we lost the Lego. And this time, we're going to combine it with 2 more things. First, from corporate, I got the point of sale records from the Salem store from 2023 to 2024. And secondly, from Crystal Gorman, I got her internal records of Brian's inventory of what was sold or not in order to pay him and keep track of prices. Now, before we piece things together, I need to address something. At the beginning of this story, you saw the social post saying this collection was worth $200,000. That's what everyone knows this story as, the $200,000 Lego collection. But sadly, that post was entirely wrong. In Crystal Gorman's inventory, which has a high and low estimate value of these various Lego items, the real estimated value is about $107,000. They give high estimates and low.
I believe that because I feel like people who collect things like that probably overestimate what things are worth. Let's be realistic. Still, $107,000 is, I mean, that's still life-changing money for most people. Like, if I had $107,000, like, that would change my life around completely. So if you guys want to give it to me, by all means, I'm happy to take it. But definitely sounds about a lot more right than $200,000 Legos.
Estimates, but that's right there in the middle. And for simplicity, I'll just be using averages and estimates here, but understand that, these numbers are not firm, given that they're unsold Legos. It's just rough possibilities. But the point is, it's worth nowhere near $200,000. And Reckless Ben, the one who made the original video covering this, said that surprised him.
Yeah, this entire time, literally every single person's been telling me there were $200,000. Like, that's how much, you could sell all these sets for.
My original assessment of about $200,000 was going up to his father's house and looking in 3 different rooms with all the sets. It was before I'd actually gone through and had set numbers and done an actual evaluation. I looked at it and went based on as things progressed and as I started to delve more into the actual inventory and evaluating it, that number changed. But we put out the press release well in advance of the event itself, so that press release went out before I had those full numbers. So we went, this is a nice even number that will grab attention and bring people into the store, so we went with that.
And
yeah, Dangerous Crew, if and when I win the lottery, you're on my list. Save this comment as proof. Dangerous Crew, I would cry, literally cry, tears of joy, and then we'd go have a drink to celebrate our incredible friendship. But I believe you, Daniel's Crew, when you say that. I definitely believe you. Because you're the best. You the GOAT.
To believe that is accurate at the high end. Like, it was one of those things where when she was looking through and going, well, it says this and it says this, you don't think even at the high end?
You haven't actually seen the spreadsheet.
No, I haven't.
You might want to cut that part out because he hasn't actually seen the inventory sheet.
The spreadsheet says about from between 85,000 to 120 something thousand. In the midpoint about 107 or something like that of what was inventory. Does that sound right to you?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this has been a really big point of misinformation to clear up, because if we're ever going to find the missing Lego, we need to start with...
Sorry, give me 1 second. I got to turn off my Discord notifications because they're bleeping and blooping, and we can't have that while I'm streaming. You know what I'm saying? We're in the heat of an investigation at the moment, and odds and ends are turning every which way. We can't be having bleeps and bloops coming through. You know what I'm saying?
The right number, the right value. It's about $107,000. Now, between 2023 and 2024, the Gormans record sales of about $24,000 of Brian's collection in their inventory tracking list. And of those sales, Brian was entitled to about 65 to 70% of it. He was paid $17,000, which roughly tracks with that. Which means on November 14th, the big night, the remaining amount of Brian's collection that should have been in there is about $82,000. Now, it doesn't take a genius to realize this is a very different number than corporate provided, who found only $2,000 to $5,000 of it to Brian.
That's a major discrepancy. Major discrepancy.
And later they said they only found $13,000 to $15,000 in total.
By the way, the GOAT means the greatest of all time, Daniel's crew, if you're wondering what the GOAT means.
Lego Star Wars.
So you're talking...
Don't they have to sign a contract on how much they are worth and the percentage they will give? Yeah, they have that all worked out. So I think Mansell got like 35% of the consignment, and then the store got like the rest. It's for selling them, is what I understand.
Maybe $11,000 to $15,000 total Star Wars, and that's all Star Wars inventory in the whole store.
So that's corporate side of the story, but I didn't want to take their word for it. So I went through Crystal's photos myself, which she shared with me, and hired people to go through and hand tag the Star Wars Legos that were in these photos. We looked through over 200 plus photos, multiple videos, and matched what we saw with Brian's collection. In the end, I ended up with about $21,000 of Legos, matching Brian's collection, that can be proven to be in the store on the night of November 14th.
Oh, I have it backwards. So the store gets 35% and he gets 65%. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. I was wondering why he would agree to that deal, because it did sound like he was getting like the shit end of the stick.
Now, to state the obvious, that's about 3 to 5 times what corporate estimated, at least on their press release. Now, yes, there are inherent errors in these estimates. Maybe we picked up some Lego that matched Brian's collection, but wasn't Brian's. But even though this is a bigger number than corporate said, I have to admit, even with pretty generous assumptions being made, there's still a huge gap of about $61,000 here that I just couldn't find. But then I learned Brian had made a special side deal with M&R Productions, who had recently purchased some Legos from him. And this is where it starts to get messy. So these are the pictures.
Oh, it's getting messy, guys. It wasn't messy before, but it's getting messy now.
That M&R Productions sent me, looking at the Lego that Brian sold him. This was stuff reportedly in storage, and it's interesting because of an early inventory list, which had a column called location.
Yo, if we find out that Brian this whole time has been lying and like really sold Legos and then used Reckless Ben, that would blow my fucking mind. I would lose all faith in humanity. If Bricks and Minifig ended up innocent in all this.
That Crystal used, and it listed a lot of the Star Wars items as being located in what they called storage. Now, previously I was told that all of the stuff in storage was put back in the store, but there's a bunch that's on this list that I can't find in the store that seem to appear in these pictures. Now, I've been assured, by the way, that most of these Legos were not part of the inventory spreadsheet. They were never given to Bricks and Minifigs. This is a separate part of the collection, but I did a check, and 100% of the items that match the Brian collection inventory just so happen to be listed with a location of storage. So this starts to make things incredibly fuzzy, and I'm inclined to believe that a lot of these are part of that same inventory list. Now, if we take that value of the side deal, that's about 10 to...
Yeah, and the craziest thing is, Daniel's crew, like, Coffeezilla didn't even have to leave his house to get all this information. If I swear, if I ever became a big YouTuber, dude, and I had the clout to, like, get interviews with people, I would absolutely put out some of the best content you've ever saw in your life. Because I'd be able to talk to anybody about anything. Everybody would want to talk to me because I'm this massive guy. But right now, nobody wants to talk to you about much because you're small,
to $20,000 that's not actually missing. Now, it was at this point I started looking more at the point of sales records. I realized maybe we could find some of this missing Lego there too. So this is from the Salem internal store records. Like, I guess this is what is entered when someone does a sale, and it's everything from September 2023 to November 2024 of Star Wars anything. And by the way, before we continue, yes, this was all a lot of work. If you want to, please support us on Patreon. That's how this show gets made. But anyways, according to those records, about $51,000 in sales went through during this time period in a way that matched Brian Mansell's collection. Now, that really worried me.
Thank you, Mad Daddy.
Crystal's inventory list showed only $24,000 in sales for Brian, and Brian was only paid for that amount. But suddenly, I remembered back to a time when I spoke to Crystal, and I asked how much was sold prior to the takeover.
Which is something similar from what you told me, Crystal.
Yeah.
You told me, hey, it
Oh,
was about
shit.
50
Here we go.
something thousand.
Yeah.
But Brian was only paid $17,000.
Okay.
And it should have been about double that. And I'm just trying to make sense of that, given that everyone's...
Is she a lying bitch? We're about to find out.
accusing each other of theft right now. You understand?
I mean, without seeing any of those records, without seeing those individual tickets, I can't answer that any better.
Okay, this is kind of a problem. The math ain't mathin'
Yeah.
here. 65 to 70% of 50,000 is almost double what we believe Brian was paid. And
So maybe the Gormans really were like stiffing Brian.
digging into the details, it turns out a lot of these sales come from what Crystal's spreadsheet actually categorizes as layaways, meaning they were marked as having been sold, but layaways are when someone puts a down payment on an item and later pays it off. But the problem was there were a lot of these, worth about $20,000 in layaway, and that felt a little strange to me. And because of that, I asked Josh Johnson, the incoming owner, and he responded, quote, "There were 2 to 3 items on layaway when they took over."
So on
Layaway like Kmart, old school.
the list,
If you know, you know.
of that on the inventory list, do you know about how many layaways
I
there
haven't
were?
gone through and done a count, but I know it was
Stop yawning.
vastly more than 2 to 3.
It was about 98.
That makes sense.
So there were about 15,000 to 20.
Is it possible that every single person in this story is fucking lying except for Brian Mansell? Is it possible that all of these business owners all robbed him at some point?
$5,000 worth of sets on layaway.
Okay.
That's just the part that's surprising. That's the part that I can't get my head around. I go, how could, let me just be really honest. I don't believe there was that much layaway. I don't know. I don't know how that's possible. How could there be that much layaway? I don't know. It's like I don't believe, because I was talking to some people about Bricks and Minifigs. They go, yeah, there's some layaway. There's not that much layaway. I talked to people.
Yeah,
who
we
were
know about
neutral, kind
layaway, Kmart
on corporate
kids.
side, but also people who were just normal Bricks and Minifigs people. They say there's not that much layaway. Help me understand why there's $20,000 worth of layaway here.
Oh yeah, that's absolutely. If you talk to other Bricks and Minifigs locations, layaway is extremely rare. I think outside of the Brian's collection, I
Okay,
don't.
good. I'm not crazy here. So then why was there so much layaway there?
No, absolutely not. Outside of
Parents who want to buy them for their kids, maybe, I guess, like parents that don't have enough to pay for the whole thing, so maybe they put a down payment on it so they can come back and pick it up for their birthday or something. That's who I'd imagine would put Legos on layaway.
Brian's collection, I think at the time we maybe had 2 used sets on layaway outside of his collection.
Okay.
It was not a common thing traditionally. I don't know that we'd ever done layaway
I gotta
before
stop
the
yawning.
collection came in. With Brian's collection, it was a little bit different because so much of this collection were new in box, all in one place, reasonably priced, and a lot of the harder to find items. And so customers would come in and put, I'm gonna guess probably half of those layaway items were not gonna be sold to the person who took them on layaway. Because we had several that would put them on layaway and then change their mind. So this was something like, somebody would come in and want 10 different sets but only be able to buy one? Can I put the rest of those on layaway so you don't sell them? I'll pay
Scalpers, like Lego scalpers, I guess. That makes sense. If you look at the Pokemon craze going on right now, those people will buy up the entire thing. So it's like, you cannot sell this. All right, I need to have this Star Wars collection, and I will put layaway on it so that you won't sell it to someone else while I don't have a pot to piss in. You know what I mean? It was November. My parents put toys on layaway because they didn't want them at our house. Yeah, that's fair too. Yeah, you pick them up right before Christmas.
$10 to put these sets on layaway. Traditionally with layaway, we would ask for 10% down. They'd have 30 days to make their next payment, or we'd refund the layaway amount and then put it back on the shelf. Because this collection was the collection it was, and I wanted to give these people the opportunity to, to get these sets, we were a lot more generous with how long and the amount of payments that people could make towards the layaway. So a lot of these, we had several of them. I think one of the Ewok villages, we put on layaway 4 different times, and then it came off of layaway and back on layaway and then off and then sold. So a lot of these would...
Yeah, that makes no business sense at all. No wonder they lost their business and they couldn't afford to pay leases. They were letting these guys come in and basically keep putting 10% down, and then, you know, that's a product that's not on the shelf now being sold to someone else who could buy it outright because it's laid away for someone else to just randomly not be able to afford it, and then goes back on the shelf. Someone comes in, puts it on layaway again, it disappears. It could have been the same person too, doing layaway again and again and again. And this isn't it like, we're talking about rare Lego collections here. These aren't like sweatshirts for your kids for school. You know what I mean? Like Kmart have. This is like stuff that people would be desperately seeking after if they're a Lego collector.
Would have gone on and off of layaway and then back out on the shelf, just depending on the person who was putting it on layaway. That was completely unique to this collection.
So look, I'll be honest, I don't trust Josh Johnson, but something is weird here.
So a lot of these are, see, like, look at this. Like, so like it says POS final sale price, but it's listed as a layaway, but it's sold for $5.99.
Yeah.
Because it matches with the store sale price.
Okay.
So were they on layaway? Were they accidentally marked layaway on the spreadsheet? What's going on there?
I mean, without seeing the actual sales ticket and seeing what else, like what items were sold together, what else was sold with it, I can't actually see the sales ticket. We had several layaway items in which customers were putting multiple things on layaway, paying for most of one item, and then, or they were buying, 8 different things together and then putting all of them on layaway and making payments on multiple items at the same time. Our Ewok village was one of those cases. At some point he had, I think, like 8 or 9 different items on layaway. So they'd come in and make a payment for a bulk payment. I've got 800 things on layaway. I'm going to make $100 on my payment.
Yeah, Daniels could do what Ruggiero said. That could be your lottery right there, Ruggiero.
Customer in particular would do that, and then when he'd gotten up high enough to pay for one set, we'd pull that set out, mark it as sold. So without seeing the actual tickets and my layaway records, I cannot answer a question any clearer than that.
But I even found
Everybody's saying like they're guilty, man. I don't know who to trust at this point. The Gormans sound guilty. Corporate sounds guilty. It seems like everybody fucked Brian at the end of the day. He's just a big ho.
Found more than that in this POS data. I also found about $10,000 in sales that match Brian's collection that were not marked as sold.
Also, I want to find out how he's doing this, because I really like the editing that's happening right here. I wish I could figure out how to do this. I would love to do like videos like this, like little graphics like this that look cool.
Under this inventory spreadsheet.
Some of our things that were not found
were
explained by the POS system because they were
She said Daniel's crew keep them. You can look up the price online. I threw my kid's Pokemon cards away because he wouldn't clean his room. They were worth hundreds. So make sure they're in good shape too. Like I would keep them somewhere safe too, because people go gaga for those Pokemon cards. Like it's actually ridiculous. I'll have to, next time we go live, I'll show you how badly people are fighting over those Pokemon cards, Daniel's crew. And you want to keep them in as prime condition as you can, because then that's worth more that way.
Found in the POS system as being sold. So like they weren't marked on the spreadsheet, but they were marked as sold via the POS system. And this is about $10,000 worth of Lego that basically were matched.
Huh. See, and I don't know. Take anything happening from, let's see, sorry, I'm trying to do math here. I don't know without being able to see all of the records. There is a possibility that the consignments were ended when I wasn't at work and I just didn't go through and pull them up. They didn't get put in the consignment ticket. I hadn't gone through that.
Oh, that's convenient. So that's money that Brian's owed by you then, Crystal, isn't it? If you're selling Brian's Legos and you're not putting them in consignment ticket, guess who's not getting that money? Brian's not getting that money.
Those consignments in a couple of months. I hadn't gone through the inventory in the back room in a couple of months. So it is entirely possible there were sales that were finished that I never clocked as being finished. I don't know that without going through and actually seeing it.
But you're saying it's possible stuff was sold, not updated on this inventory list.
It's entirely possible that stuff did not get updated on my spreadsheet. I'm not going to sit here and claim it's not possible. It's possible I missed things.
So where does this leave us?
Well, Daniel's crew, you might have a fortune on your hand in them cards, so I'd get them back and then put them in a safe, because the amount of Pokemon cards, like, some of them could be worth thousands of dollars. Like, no joke, Daniel's crew. It's ridiculous how expensive those Pokemon cards, some of those cards are. So I would get them, put them somewhere safer than where they're at now, so they don't get beat up by the weather or anything, like in a climate controlled area. But Pokemon automated dispensers are next to lottery and ATMs. I see people waiting in line for Pokemon dispensers to activate all the time. Yeah, they do. They're waiting for the restock to hit, and then dude, there's videos of people fist fighting over them. As I said, we'll worry about that next time, because I think next time we'll show you that, because Charlie Moist Critical has done a bunch of videos on it, and I'd love to talk about it too, because it is frigging insane.
I know some people are jumping to conclusions here, but I must remind you that on the night of November 14th, 2024, Crystal Gorman was concerned about Brian getting paid or not getting paid.
He has not been paid his percentage yet, and if I don't have the tickets, I won't know how much I need to pay him.
Okay. So Crystal, ultimately, also that's a business thing and not necessarily yours. Brandon will take, because taking on the business, he takes on all that kind of side there.
So obviously, one could see.
Okay, so now that is Brandon's fault. Hey, what's up, Tom? Thomas. By the way, guys, next week I'll be talking with Thomas Frasco. He was in my Monster Truck video part 1. So if you guys haven't seen that, he's one of the guys that's one of the guests. He has a really cool YouTube channel. Check him out too, by the way. I'm gonna be talking to him next week or this weekend, Friday, right? Yeah, I think Friday. Yes, please do. Should I get them all out of the shed to show you later? I don't know what these would be worth, Daniel's crew, but I would definitely get them out and I'd invest in a binder, right? And if you go through, I could tell you what to save. Yeah, if you pull them out and show me, I could probably tell you what cards would be worth keeping, you know.
That and say she was intending to reconcile with Brian. Maybe she hadn't gotten around to it. And of course, corporate will probably
Friday at
take
6.
a more
Yeah, there you
cynical
go.
view
Thank
of what
you,
she's doing
Mr.
by
Frasco.
printing these receipts. But the point is, regardless of whose side you're on, I think we can all agree there's a lot of weird stuff here on all sides. Abnormal stuff. Sure, maybe you can chalk some of this up to bad record keeping between the U-Haul, the layaways, the $20,000 in Lego sets that corporate called $2,000 to $5,000 that was there that night, the off-book deals. But even if we can't like fully know 100%, you know, what these weird things were about, I think they tell a story of what actually happened to Brian's collection.
Oh wow, Rogero, that is a rare card. I'm pretty sure because of the Mewtwo, because it was that came out when the Pokemon movie came out, right? Yeah, that's probably a pretty rare card.
In a way, multiple people, I think, are kind of right, kind of wrong. The Gormans were correct that more of that collection was there that night.
We'll talk about the Pokemon cards after this.
But corporate also alleged that some of it was offsite, and that appears to be partly
We'll get
true,
Daniel's crew
although
paid.
Some of that is disputed, and it looks like, you know, way more of the collection was sold and layawayed than Brian was paid for. But all in all, there's a lot less missing than many people think, especially if your starting number is $200,000. I estimated, and I must emphasize, estimated with bad records, that there's only about $10,000 to $20,000 in Lego that isn't explained by one of these sources. This isn't to say Brian's been fully compensated. Much of this Brian wasn't paid for that I know of. So I estimate he's still out about $50,000 to $83,000 for Lego he wasn't compensated for.
Which is a shitload of money. $50,000 to $83,000 in Legos is obscene amount. I mean, that's a very fancy truck. That is a down payment on a house easily. Definitely a college tuition.
And I think, honestly, that's something that Bricks and Minifigs obviously should handle and make right. Regardless of what a franchisee does, the new one, the old one, the company behind it must stand behind their product, their service, and I can't imagine a better example of a company doing the opposite. Unfortunately, Bricks and Minifigs has chosen to deflect and dodge responsibility at most opportunities and created a really awful customer experience that has snowballed into this crazy series of events. But instead of taking accountability for that, they've taken an aggressive legal strategy, which I told them personally was a horrible idea. As of writing this, Brian Mansell is being sued for $1.3 million as part of a legal campaign against him and Reckless Ben and any of the associates.
They're suing Ben and Brian Mansell for $1.3 million. Are you fucking kidding me? What a joke, Bricks and Minifigs. What an absolute joke. Yeah, that's a good way to win people over. That's a good way to win people over, Bricks and Minifigs. Sue a guy whose dad's dying because you fucked up his collection, and now you want to sue him for $1.3 million. I hope that they fucking get taken to the cleaners in court.
Associates. Remember, Brian is the same guy who lost all these Legos at Bricks and Minifigs store. And I told the CEO and COO that's ridiculous and they should drop this. Look, mistakes have been made by plenty of people here, but there's a lot more people who have inflicted self-owns, the likes of which we've rarely seen, by just choosing the worst possible path at every fork in the road. No pun intended. But the best path to making things right, in my view, is by just making Brian whole and moving on. Drop the aggressive legal strategy. You are a Lego store at the end of the day. You are supposed to be about fun, not about a rerun of Suits. But anyways, that's my investigation. Those are my closing thoughts. And I knew I wanted to approach everyone involved in this whole story with my results and see what they thought to close things out.
Does all that make sense to you? Because I'm showing everyone in this story and saying, hey,
the thing
are any of these numbers blowing your mind, or is any of this crazy to you?
No, it's not crazy. But what's crazy, again, like all the photo evidence that both sides have points to there being, sure, $20,000 worth of Lego in this of Star Wars Lego in the store that night, right? I don't know, man. I'm just like, can people understand maybe why there was some confusion and why there was some hesitation when somebody comes in and says, hey, you owe me $60,000 worth of product in Lego, and we go, we don't even know who you are. Like, yeah, Crystal mentioned something about consignment on her way out the door. And we go, sure, we'll get that figured out. But then the guy just walks in and demands $60,000 worth of Lego? Like,
yes, you literally said to them that the business, like, they would be in charge of taking it over. And just get out of here, Crystal. Did we not hear that? Oh, are we going crazy? Did we not hear that he said that? Oh my God. Every chance they get, they want nothing to do with paying this fucking guy. Now they're probably going to lose way more money than they ever would have lost if they just paid this guy.
Like, what am I supposed to do other than say, cool, show me, can you show me the proof?
The problem is there's so much of a dispute on the timeline, and this is what's going to make this story so hard to tell, is like, they say, you guys are unreasonable. They tried, and eventually they gave up. But they say they tried and they were basically met with, like, unreasonable requests, things like that. So
verification, documentation, is that unreasonable, do you think?
Well, I think they would say they provided the documentation, and you guys say you need more documentation. So I mean, that's kind of the
right. A spread, like, I understand a spreadsheet and a contract are a good start.
Yeah.
What else do you need other than that? What other documentation do you need other than a spreadsheet and a contract? What more could you possibly fucking need?
Yeah, but we never got that. That was never sent to us at corporate, by the way.
Y'all do have the spreadsheet though, yeah? Y'all have the spreadsheet.
That was shared online, but months after we asked for it.
It says it's. I'm so confused. It says I'm on the file right now. It says storage used, owned by BAM Franchising Inc. Owner Salem.or bricksandminifigs.com.
What are you looking at?
It says owner Salem.or at bricksandminifigs.com. That's you guys. It says owned by BAM Franchising Inc. It says created September 6, 2024. And when I look at it, this is the Mansell list, I believe.
So this would have been created under, like, so we have the
y'all definitely have this. Y'all have access to this.
Well, I had no idea. Like, so if this is the first that anybody has shown me that a spreadsheet was created using, like, Bricks and Minifigs Salem, like, and all of this stuff was archived. This is the first I've seen that this spreadsheet was created by Crystal, and we don't know how accurate it is, how up to date it was. We don't know a lot of those types of things, and understand. I appreciate you sharing this with us because we had no idea. Again, you don't know what you don't know, and you can't, like, we don't know everything, and we don't go, like.
All right, as much as I want to clown on this guy, right? It is very, very possible that Brandon Best and Joshua Johnson did not tell them that this was even going on because they wanted that money for themselves. Because according to, I forget what video it was in, but the deal that they made is, like, whatever they made selling from that store, like, they got to keep, or it would make them richer. So it makes sense that they wouldn't want to cut in Brian Mansell for that, if we're looking at that much money. But now these guys are public enemy number one because they're greedy little fucking piggies. It is all possible that this guy wasn't aware of what was actually happening. But claiming ignorance doesn't mean you're innocent either. This did happen in your company. And some random YouTube guy yeah, that's the thing. Like, if Coffeezilla could get all this stuff done, there is no reason why Bricks and Minifigs couldn't. They just didn't want to. You saw how Reckless Ben was treated by this guy when he came and told him what was going on. This guy said, without a doubt, I don't have your Legos. Like, it's so shitty.
Looking in every nook and cranny everywhere, like, we just don't know some of those things. So if that's there, we can now have our team go look for that.
When it comes right down to it, they're going to have to make a judgment call and say, who's telling the truth? The people who were taking all the pictures and we couldn't take pictures of everything the night of, but we're being honest consistently, and the people who are saying, there was $5,000 there. Really? Like, that makes no sense. We've got the evidence, and yes, there's a discrepancy. We acknowledge we did not take pictures of everything, but does that mean that the discrepancy is, and therefore these missing, percentage, whatever that would be, 5%, is some magical other place? Or it was sitting there in the store and we didn't get pictures of it?
If I mean,
That's
if
the
I
more
messed
reasonable
up,
explanation.
if I messed up on my record keeping, I will take accountability for that. It's possible. If my staff didn't draw attention that consignments had left out, so I'd move them to the thing. Any of that, I will take accountability to that. I am more than willing to do that. I need BAM to show me those tickets.
As they promised to do.
I will sit down with Brian and talk this over and figure out what we missed and where it was missed and how it was missed and make that right with him.
I mean, that's new information no one's ever found out, so that's like awesome. They're gonna lose hundreds of millions of dollars because of their own wrongdoing. They're literally gonna destroy their entire company because they're this stubborn over maybe $20,000 worth of Lego.
Sure, I'll be keeping you in the loop with what you know.
Nice. I'm excited. This was good work. My other final thoughts is, dude, you solved it, dude. That's awesome.
As of the making of this video, Brandon Best and Joshua Johnson are no longer working at Bricks and Minifigs. Bricks and Minifigs is suing Brian Mansell and Reckless Ben for over $1 million in damages. A restraining order is in effect against Reckless Ben to prevent him from speaking about Bricks and Minifigs. The Gormans are suing Bricks and Minifigs. The lawsuit claims Brian's collection had an original aggregate value of $250,000. Cool. Damn good work by Coffeezilla, though. But I mean, if I had 5 million subscribers, I'd probably have the resources to probably put something like this together too. But overall, you know, you can't knock it. It's a great video. Absolutely a great video. Incredible work by Coffeezilla to track all this stuff down, to be able to talk to all the people that were in charge. I look forward to seeing other people's reactions, other streamers. Like, I'm sure Charlie's going to talk about this. I'm sure Asmongold's going to talk about this. Tons and tons more content coming. And I don't think this story is even close to over yet. We still got to get through all the lawsuits, right? We're going to probably pay attention to that when all that happens. It takes a while to get into court, though. So, and Ben seems like he's 100% down to go to court over this. You know, Ben, at the end of the day, just wanted to do right by someone else who got screwed. Did he do it in the best way? Maybe, you know, sometimes not. But at the end of the day, he exposed Bricks and Minifigs for exactly what they were doing. And that was taking advantage of a guy that didn't deserve to have that happen to him, you know. I feel better about walking away from work tonight. This was good. Yeah, I thought that was really good. I know I was gonna like, I really wanted to finish part 2, but I was like, dude, the Coffeezilla stuff, like, I gotta get to it. Like, it's sitting there and I'm eager to get on there, and I'm eager to go see what he found and what he uncovered. And sure enough, yeah, right now no one's winning. Right now no one's winning in this situation, right? So let's take a look at the outcome, right? So either Ben wins and Brian gets paid and Ben gets paid and becomes a massive YouTuber who does investigations, where anytime that you know, the problem with success though is Ben is not going to be, hey Carla, Ben now being as popular as he isn't going to be able to do like the undercover work that he once did that helped grow his channel, right? Like, people are going to recognize him just like they would recognize Coffeezilla. So that's going to be something that he's going to have to deal with in the future. Coffeezilla is probably the only winner right now because he probably put out one of the coolest videos in regards to this. The Gormans aren't coming out of this because they have to spend a fortune suing Bricks and Minifigs. Brian Mansell's father's not doing well. Reckless Ben did well. If the GoFundMe's still up, that money is going to go to attorneys. So it's not even like those guys are going to be able to keep that money to help Brian's father. That $400,000 is going to be going to attorneys. That's essentially what this is going to be going to. This is going to be a massive lawsuit playing out in court now. And that's the price of being an investigative journalist, I guess. If you go out and you try to blow the whistle on something like this and you get sued for it, and I'm sure the guys at Bricks and Minifigs feel like they did nothing wrong. The only people who really know what fucking happened is Joshua Johnson and Brandon Best. And the fact that they got booted or got the boot from Bricks and Minifigs makes me think that Bricks and Minifigs knows that Joshua Johnson and Brandon Best are some shady fuckers. You know? Oh, yeah. That's who, you know who wins in this, Blue Jay? LawTube. You're right. You're absolutely right. All the lawyers' channels are just going to be making tons and tons of videos about this. Law and Crime did a video on this. Legal Eagle's done a video on this. Everybody who's a YouTuber, who's a attorney is sinking their teeth into this shit. So I think Ben did a good job because nobody would know anything about this without him. Yeah, absolutely. That's where Ben did his best work, is getting, he made Brian Mansell story be heard. Because at this point, like, they tried to go, like, Brian Mansell tried to go to Lego collectors about this, but they were all like guys that were like the size of me and small, or like a little bigger, a little smaller. And they all tried to come together to help Brian. And then immediately Bricks and Minifigs threatened to sue them. So Reckless Ben, being like the YOLO type of guy he is, was like, fuck it, I'll do it. I'll do it. And I'm going to put myself on the map while I do it. Now, here's the only thing I'm scared of. Like, if Reckless Ben loses this lawsuit, right, is that going to be the end of his channel? Like, is that going to be it for Reckless Ben on YouTube? You know, because they could get his channel taken down after that. Law and Crime did 2 videos, and the first one took Bam's side. Yeah, Law and Crime's fucking a joke anymore. Law and Crime sucks. They went from being like a cool side, like a cool channel, to just being TMZ now. Basically, that's all they are, is TMZ. Like, how many times did we watch that story about the cruise ship murder? Which, by the way, what the fuck ever happened with that? Was the brother who killed Abby on a ship ever? Yes, 16-year-old Timothy Hudson has been federally indicted and charged as an adult with first-degree murder charge of aggravated sexual abuse in the death of his stepsister. Oh, and aggravated sexual abuse. So that means that he raped... Oh, my God. That means he did something to Anna when she was passed out. Or, yeah, after she was dead. And he pleaded not guilty. Anyway, I was just curious because I never followed up with that story, but I think Ben made a difference. I'm wondering when Lego will step in. Yeah, like, even if Ben and Brian, if they lose this, it would be really cool if Lego, like, stepped up and said, we got you, buddy. Thank you for your dad collecting Legos all these years. We appreciate it. And, like, gave him, like, $500,000 or something. Or even like $200,000 for the collection, or what it was supposedly worth. Lego got that kind of money. Lego got stupid kinds of money. Those people who live that 1%er lifestyle, I don't think you guys even can fathom how rich they actually are. It's something I've never experienced, probably never will experience. Most of us will never get to experience what it's like to have that kind of money, you know? But... And times are getting tougher right now. You know, times are really hard. You know, it sucks. It is hard to be it's hard to be a normal person these days. Everything's so expensive. Like, this is not the world that we were promised. The brother was finally taken in. Yeah, so I just read that. But apparently he got hit with sexual abuse too. Aggravated sexual abuse of his sister. So he must have, like, banged her after he murdered her, which is fucking gross, dude. So gross. Lego doesn't. They keep their nose clean because of that. They're probably smart because of that. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. But I don't know. I think Bricks and Minifigs doesn't survive this personally. Who's going to go and shop there other than people who aren't aware of the story? But any Lego collector is going to look at them as the Empire now. You know, they're the evil Empire. So, but anyway, guys, this was a fun stream tonight. I got to get to bed. I got work in the morning. I got so much work to do with editing. I got a second video getting ready to come out. And then after my next Monster Jam video, we're going to get back to some, you know, cool stuff. Maybe start doing some videos on body cams. Because guess what? I'm going to college in fall. I'm going back to school. And that's going to make it hard for me to make videos while I'm going to class trying to get my bachelor's degree. So while that's all going on, I'm going to have to figure out how to continuously keep making content. So we're going to have to figure something out. So anyway, guys, I love you all very much. Thank you guys, those who donated. Thank you guys to the members. You guys are awesome. I know that we're kind of only streaming like once a week now, but you know, just the fact you guys show up still incredible. It means the world to me, and we'll figure something. We're going to get this figured out. Right now, I'm still trying to figure out what type of like creator I want to be, you know, but I do have a cool video coming out next, the Monster Jam Part 2 video. Even if you're not into monster trucks and stuff, it is cool. My girlfriend's gonna be in the video. We actually went to a monster truck event that wasn't Monster Jam, and we got to talk to some of the drivers and stuff, so that's pretty cool. So anyway, guys, peace out, Girl Scouts. All right, I gotta go bottom. I gotta go bottom somewhere. So I'll see you later.